Fiction and its many formats of storytelling methods always move us, inspire us, and change the way we think in different ways. Today, we'll be looking at why cyberpunk fiction is important to enjoy as a reader and understand as a writer. There's 1,000 examples to choose from, such as Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep and the Blade Runner franchise that was spawned because of it. There's the awe-inspiring Dune epic and its cult following. And many others, from Ghost in the Shell, Black Mirror, Deus Ex, Neuromancer, and more. In my mind, the upcoming game Cyberpunk 2077 is important to look at. A game developed and published by CD Projekt, and they are one of the best companies right now when it comes to creating a fantastic role-playing experience with vivid, story-rich worlds. Personally, I'm drawn to cyberpunk fiction because ultimately, stories tend to be about people struggling in a society wrought with augmentation and technology galore, and the people struggle with their ethical use of that technology and how it affects evolution, politics, morality, and more. And to me, that's the power of a good story, to illuminate these issues and concepts that we either unknowingly ignore or blatantly accept. And this is applicable to all forms of storytelling, from games to TV shows to books to role-playing. Cyberpunk fiction breaks down the hard, cold wall of pseudo-reality that we've built up for ourselves in our daily lives, stopping us from focusing on the everyday verities of family, paychecks, food, etc. And this isn't hard to understand why when you consider that cyberpunk fiction stems from postmodernism, a concept and style of the arts, criticism and architecture that has a distrust of theories, aiming to be more self-conscious than its predecessor, modernism. Taking on the mantle of science fiction, cyberpunk forces us to think about the influence of the information age and how we can use technology and how it affects societal structures. The inbuilt skepticism present in most cyberpunk stories often explores anarchistic characters challenging their societies and their predecessors, much like postmodernism does to modernism. These characters, often marginalized, beaten, and alone, live on the edge of a super-capitalist, dystopic society wherein their daily lives have been worsened or restricted by the elite. The elite, who are usually the ones furthering technological development, the privatization of information, and pushing human augmentation by leaps and bounds, and creating a need for it in the workplace. This makes the classic cyberpunk character the everyman, especially when you consider that the elite are only a minority. And this is the reason why cyberpunk fiction is engaging. All of these concepts are realities now in our modern lives. We use the internet daily, from getting up in the morning till going to bed at night. Our browsing histories, search terms, everything is a KPI to be tracked, studied, and interpreted. We use social media to feel closer to people from further away. We augment our reality with phones, apps, virtual reality, and much more. We replace body parts with artificial ones. Cyberpunk is already here, and the world is becoming a smaller place. The elite are becoming more of a minority. We've just become blinded by ourselves. We trick ourselves not to see it. Our daily routine becomes our opiate of the masses. But we should try not to. We need to be aware. Otherwise, human society, the arts, architecture, privacy, education, it'll all become dystopic with time. Opening ourselves up to the brutal nihilism of this fiction will allow us to change ourselves into better storytellers, artists, friends, lovers. We'll start to analyze more, be more skeptical, which will, hopefully, enable us to develop ourselves, our societies, and our future towards something brighter.